Have you ever wondered if someone could survive completely alone underground? Imagine complete darkness surrounding you without any easy escape nearby. Imagine waiting for help while every hour feels much longer than usual. This sounds impossible, but one woman lived through this terrifying experience. Her courage amazed rescuers and inspired millions around the world afterward. Her name was Susan O'Brien. She became trapped inside a dangerous underground cave during an exploration trip. Nobody knew whether rescuers could reach her before time disappeared completely. Every passing hour made the rescue even more difficult and dangerous. But the frightening story began as an exciting outdoor adventure. Susan loved exploring nature and visiting beautiful caves with experienced friends. She enjoyed learning about underground rock formations and hidden natural places. Caving required careful planning, special equipment, and experienced guides for safety. Susan understood the risks but trusted her group and preparation completely. The group entered a deep cave during what seemed an ordinary expedition. Everyone expected returning home safely before the end of the day. The underground passages were narrow, dark, and sometimes extremely difficult crossing. The explorers moved carefully while following their planned underground route together. Nothing suggested disaster would suddenly interrupt their adventure underground. Then one unexpected event changed everything completely. While moving through a narrow section, rocks suddenly shifted nearby. Part of the cave became unstable without any warning beforehand. Falling rocks blocked the passage behind Susan unexpectedly. The collapse separated her from the rest of the group immediately. Dust filled the air and reduced visibility inside the cave. Her friends shouted loudly, hoping she could answer from nearby. Susan called back, but the blocked passage prevented anyone reaching her. The cave had become a prison deep beneath the ground. The rescue had become a race against time. Susan remained calm despite the frightening situation surrounding her. She knew panic would waste valuable energy and clear thinking. Instead, she carefully examined the small space around her position. She checked her equipment and counted the supplies she still carried. She had only limited food and drinking water available. Her flashlight worked, but its batteries would not last forever. Every decision became extremely important for her survival underground. She needed protecting both her strength and her hope carefully. Meanwhile, her friends hurried toward the cave entrance. The explorers immediately contacted emergency rescue teams for professional assistance. Experienced cave rescuers quickly organized a complicated rescue operation together. They understood underground rescues required patience, special equipment, and careful planning. Moving too quickly could cause another dangerous rock collapse underground. Rescuers first needed discovering Susan's exact underground location. The cave contained many narrow tunnels and confusing underground passages. Communication inside the cave remained extremely difficult during the rescue. Still, nobody wanted giving up while Susan remained trapped below. Hundreds of people soon joined the rescue effort. Rescue teams worked day and night without long breaks. Engineers studied the cave structure before removing dangerous rocks carefully. Medical workers waited nearby preparing immediate treatment for Susan afterward. Family members gathered near the rescue site hoping for good news. News reporters also arrived because the rescue attracted national attention. Millions of people followed updates about the dangerous underground operation. Everyone hoped rescuers would reach Susan before supplies disappeared completely. Every hour underground increased the danger for everyone involved. Deep inside the cave, Susan faced another difficult night alone. The underground air remained cold throughout every long day and night. Susan wrapped herself carefully to preserve valuable body heat. She avoided unnecessary movement because energy was becoming increasingly precious. She spoke aloud sometimes because silence felt deeply frightening underground. She thought about her family and friends waiting above ground. Those thoughts helped her remain mentally strong despite overwhelming fear. She believed rescuers were still working somewhere beyond the rocks. That belief gave her strength during the darkest moments underground. But nobody knew how long the rescue would actually require. The blocked passage proved much stronger than rescuers first expected. Large rocks could not simply be moved without careful preparation. Every movement risked creating another dangerous underground collapse nearby. The rescuers therefore worked slowly despite enormous public pressure. Susan understood the rescue required patience from everyone involved. She continued conserving water, food, flashlight batteries, and precious energy. Each passing day tested her courage more than the previous one. Would the rescuers reach Susan before hope finally disappeared? Susan had now spent many hours completely alone underground. The darkness surrounded her almost every moment inside the narrow cave. She switched her flashlight off whenever bright light became unnecessary. Saving battery power became one of her most important survival decisions. Without light, the cave became completely black and frighteningly silent. Every small sound echoed through the underground passages around her. Sometimes she heard tiny rocks falling somewhere beyond the blocked tunnel. Those sounds reminded her that the cave remained dangerous every moment. Still, Susan refused allowing fear to control her thoughts. She created simple routines that helped her remain calm each day. She counted the hours and carefully measured her remaining supplies. She took only small drinks of water during every long day. She also ate tiny amounts of food whenever absolutely necessary. Susan knew every piece of food could become extremely important later. She avoided wasting either water or valuable physical energy underground. Her careful planning slowly increased her chances of surviving longer. Every wise decision gave rescuers additional time reaching her safely. Above ground, the rescue operation continued growing larger each day. More rescue specialists arrived from different parts of the country. Experienced cave experts carefully studied detailed maps of the underground system. Engineers examined the unstable rocks blocking Susan's only escape route. They needed finding the safest method before removing heavy stone carefully. Using too much force could create another dangerous cave collapse nearby. The rescuers understood one mistake could place everyone in greater danger. Therefore, every decision required careful discussion and detailed planning together. Nobody wanted risking Susan's life through unnecessary haste or panic. Time was becoming everyone's greatest enemy during the rescue. Medical experts worried about Susan's physical condition after several difficult days. They knew dehydration could become extremely dangerous without enough fresh water. Cold temperatures underground could also weaken her body gradually. Lack of sunlight and complete isolation increased emotional pressure greatly. Still, rescuers believed Susan remained alive beneath the blocked passage. They continued working because hope remained stronger than discouragement. Family members encouraged rescue teams throughout every exhausting day. Their support helped rescuers continue despite overwhelming physical exhaustion. Deep underground, Susan heard something that changed everything. One day she thought she heard faint sounds through the rocks. At first, she believed her tired mind imagined the strange noise. Then she heard another distant sound coming from the blocked tunnel. Someone was hitting rocks somewhere beyond the collapsed passage. Susan immediately shouted as loudly as possible toward the sound. She waited quietly before hearing another series of distant knocks. The rescuers had finally reached a position close enough communicating. For the first time, Susan knew people were almost beside her. Hope returned stronger than ever before. The rescuers also heard Susan answering from behind the rocks. Everyone celebrated because they finally confirmed she remained alive underground. The rescue team immediately spoke encouraging words through small openings. They promised Susan they would continue working until reaching her. Hearing human voices greatly improved her confidence and emotional strength. She no longer felt completely alone inside the underground darkness. The rescue operation entered its most difficult and dangerous stage. Only a thick wall of broken rock separated Susan from freedom. Now every minute brought rescuers closer to their goal. Workers carefully removed one rock after another without rushing dangerously. Each stone required patience because the tunnel remained extremely unstable. Sometimes the rescuers stopped working while checking surrounding rock carefully. Safety remained their highest priority throughout the entire rescue effort. Susan continued waiting calmly while listening to rescue activities nearby. She understood the careful pace protected everyone involved in the operation. Although tired, she remained determined, surviving until the very end. Her courage inspired every person working above and below ground. After 6 incredibly difficult days, freedom was finally approaching. The rescue team continued removing rocks with extraordinary care and patience. Every small opening became slightly larger during the difficult operation underground. The rescuers knew Susan waited only a short distance away. They worked slowly because another collapse could destroy the rescue completely. Nobody wanted taking unnecessary risks during the final stage together. The tunnel gradually became large enough for rescuers approaching Susan safely. Everyone waited nervously for the final breakthrough beneath the earth. The entire rescue team believed success was finally within reach. Then, after 6 long days, the impossible finally happened. One rescuer crawled carefully through the narrow opening underground. Moments later, he reached Susan inside the small trapped space. She was exhausted, cold, hungry, and physically very weak. However, she was alive and able speaking with the rescuers. The rescue team immediately checked her medical condition carefully. They gave her fresh water and encouraged her gently throughout. Susan smiled because she finally knew the nightmare was ending. The long wait beneath the earth was finally over forever. Now the rescuers needed bringing her safely back outside. The journey through the cave remained slow and extremely difficult. Susan could not simply walk quickly through the underground passages. Rescuers carefully supported her while moving toward the cave entrance. Medical workers waited nearby with equipment and emergency supplies prepared. Family members anxiously watched every update from the rescue teams. Everyone hoped seeing Susan safely return into the daylight again. The final part of the rescue required great care and teamwork. Nobody relaxed until Susan reached the surface safely outside. Then the world watched an unforgettable moment. Susan finally emerged from the cave into bright daylight again. Rescuers, doctors, family members, and reporters surrounded the entrance together. People applauded loudly after seeing her alive at last. Many rescuers smiled with relief after nearly 1 week underground. Some family members cried because they had feared the worst. Susan thanked the rescue teams for refusing to stop searching. She understood their determination had saved her life completely. The emotional rescue became international news almost immediately afterward. Millions of people celebrated the successful rescue around the world. Doctors transported Susan to a hospital for careful medical treatment. She suffered dehydration, exhaustion, and several minor physical injuries. Fortunately, she recovered much better than many experts expected. Rest, food, water, and medical care gradually restored her strength. Her survival amazed doctors because underground conditions were extremely difficult. Many specialists praised her calm thinking throughout the terrifying experience. Her careful decisions helped keep her alive during 6 long days. She never allowed hopelessness completely controlling her thoughts. Her courage became as important as the rescue itself. After recovering, Susan spoke publicly about her frightening experience. She thanked every rescuer who risked personal safety helping her. She also thanked the volunteers supporting rescue operations above ground. Susan explained that hope helped her survive every difficult moment. She believed staying calm saved valuable energy during the emergency. She encouraged other people never losing hope during difficult situations. Her message inspired many people facing different challenges across life. The story became a powerful example of human determination and teamwork. The rescue taught valuable lessons beyond simple survival. Rescue operations require planning, patience, training, and excellent communication together. Experienced teams never rush dangerous situations without careful preparation first. Small decisions often become extremely important during emergency rescue missions. Susan's rescue also demonstrated the strength of human cooperation beautifully. Hundreds of strangers worked together for one important purpose alone. They refused giving up despite dangerous conditions and exhausting work. Their determination gave one trapped woman another chance at life. That success inspired people far beyond the rescue site itself. Today, Susan's story remains an unforgettable survival story. She entered a cave expecting only an ordinary adventure with friends. Instead, she faced 6 terrifying days trapped beneath the earth. She survived through patience, courage, careful thinking, and unwavering hope. Rescuers survived their own difficult challenge through teamwork and dedication. Together, they proved impossible situations sometimes have extraordinary endings. The darkness lasted 6 long days beneath the ground. But hope lasted even longer than the darkness itself. Sometimes survival begins with believing tomorrow will finally bring the light.